Translate cadrage and arbitrage for RFCs native like English. Welcome. Today, we'll sharpen your English for RFCs so it sounds native and crystal clear. Our goal is to translate French PM terms precisely, especially cadrage and arbitrage, into domain-neutral, action-focused English. Think of your audience as engineers and spec readers who want clarity, not corporate jargon. We'll pick words that fit technical documents, keep the tone direct, and make decisions in scope easy to follow. By the end, you'll know which terms to use, how to phrase them, and how to write RFC sentences that feel natural to senior engineering teams. In many teams, cadrage is the early scoping and framing of a piece of work. It means clarifying objectives, constraints, and scope so everyone knows what's in and what's out. You align stakeholders on success metrics, for example, target latency, cost ceilings, or user impact, and confirm assumptions and risks. The output isn't a full design. It's a documented scope baseline that guides later design and prioritization. Think of it as agreeing on the problem boundaries and success criteria before you touch architecture diagrams or start writing code. When writing in English, use practical, familiar words: scope, scoping, framing, or definition. Common phrases include scope definition, project scoping, and scoping phase. Useful verbs are to scope and to define scope, as in, we scoped the API changes, or let's define scope before estimates. Avoid using cadrage directly, and don't rely on vague framing alone. It can sound fuzzy. Your goal is clarity. Name the scope, describe its boundaries, and tie it to measurable outcomes that guide design and planning. During scoping, we identified constraints such as data retention rules, budget limits, and a 200 milliseconds P95 latency target. This RFC documents the scope and goals, including supported use cases, non-goals, and success metrics. Scope definition aligns teams before design by clarifying requirements, assumptions, and dependencies. Out-of-scope items are listed explicitly to prevent scope creep and keep estimates realistic. These sentences show concise, engineer-friendly phrasing that makes boundaries, expectations, and measures of success unambiguous. In this context, arbitrage is not about finance. It's the act of making a decision between options or trade-offs. You resolve conflicts under constraints: time, cost, reliability, compliance, and choose based on impact, risk, and cost. The key is to be transparent about why you chose one path over another. The output should be a recorded decision rationale that captures options considered, criteria used, the decision made, and implications. This helps teams move forward confidently and prevents relitigating the same debate later. In English RFCs, use down-to-earth terms: decision, trade-off, call, or ruling. Phrases like make the call and decide the trade-off sound natural to engineers. For documentation, write decision record or decision log to track outcomes and reasoning. Avoid the finance sense of arbitrage. It's confusing in tech specs. Keep the language action-oriented. Who decided, on what basis, and with which constraints. This keeps discussions focused and lets readers quickly understand the rationale behind the chosen approach. We made a trade-off decision on latency, accepting a higher P95 in exchange for simpler operations. The reviewer made the final call, selecting a single queue to reduce complexity. This RFC records the decision rationale, comparing two designs against risk, cost, and operability. Open questions require a decision owner with a due date and criteria for acceptance. These patterns keep decisions visible, assign accountability, and make it easy to revisit context without reopening settled debates. Be explicit. Who decided, when, and why? Name the owner, timestamp the decision, and state the criteria. Prefer verbs over nouns. Write, decide, scope, measure, deprecate instead of abstract nouns that hide action. Link decisions to evidence and metrics, benchmarks, incident data, cost estimates, SLIs/SLOs. Summarize decisions in a dedicated section with a short table or bullets, then link to a decision log. Clarity, action, and traceability make your RFC easier to read and harder to misinterpret.